There's hundreds of different fan-favorite cars and huge communities that support them. These groups have their fair share of passionate, polite, and loyal fans that do awesome things with their cars, but some fanbases also have a ton of awful fans that do annoying things with their cars and just give the rest of the general fanbase a bad rap. Today at Vice City Vehicles, we're going to be counting down the top 10 toxic car fan bases. What happens when you give a teenage boy a cheap 300 horsepower rear-wheel drive coupe that sounds like a trumpet? They end up doing things like this. The VQ community, or fans of Nissan and Infiniti VQ models, have earned themselves the number 5 spot for doing things like this. And doing things like this. So if you didn't know, the Nissan 350Z was a drifty coupe produced from 2002 to 2009, which shared its 3.5-liter V6 with the Infiniti G35. In recent years, thanks to depreciation, these two cars have become fairly accessible budget-wise. Unfortunately, this means many owners have decided to do some questionable things that not everybody likes, such as cutting corners when modifying the exhaust on these cars, which many say sounds like a musical instrument. It's fairly commonplace for owners to cheap out and get more notes out of their vehicle by doing a straight pipe, which in turn produces a tone that is extremely raspy and obnoxiously loud. Due to the fact that the 350Z at the time was the only other sports car produced by Nissan, aside the GTR, many owners have convinced themselves that they own a baby GTR, prompting them to install flame maps similar to a real GTR, which is also extremely obnoxious. Now VQs may be destroying eardrums and causing accidents, but at least they use their turn signals. At number 4 we have BMW. BMW is a proud German brand that is repped by the likes of doctors, lawyers, and entrepreneurs, but also by a select few who have given the brand a bad name. BMW owners have been caught numerous times practicing some bad driving habits. And due to the price range of BMW cars, many believe BMW owners to be especially arrogant on the road. If you see a driver on his cell phone, there is a good chance it will be a BMW. If you see a driver zooming along like he's Vin Diesel, there is a good chance it's a BMW. If a driver flashes you from behind to get out his way in heavy traffic, there is a good chance it will be a BMW. BMW owners have flagged themselves as extra reckless on the roads, as the 3 Series has been involved in the top 5 percentile of accidents within the UK for close to half a decade now. Much like the VQ platform in recent years, performance models like the 335i have become fairly cheap, which leads to inexperienced and immature drivers behind the wheel of a car much too fast for them to handle. What do you get when a car costs this, but can also do this? You get people who end up doing things like this. The Honda Civic is a cultural icon and is massively popular, known for its dirt cheap price, iron reliability, and insane tuning capability. For example, the 10th generation L15 V7 engine with mainly stock components can force out about 375 horsepower and 260 torque, but can be pushed even further with more serious upgrades such as big turbo kits. We've even seen people build Civics able to beat supercars and produce up to 2,000 horsepower. Now everyone loves those types of builds, so where does all the hate come from? Usually it's from what we call ricers. Ricers are people who decide to add big wings, huge exhaust tips, and fake hood scoops and such to make their car look like it's fast, while it's usually just a Civic LX making 140 horsepower. Some owners also love making their cars extremely loud. And many owners are rowdy and known for attempting to race anything and everyone in traffic, even your grandma. Now Volkswagen Golf GTIs are not as cheap as Honda Civics, so we do end up seeing a lot more good-looking and sounding builds that are really impressive performance-wise as well. The Golf GTI is a fan favorite with a massive following, since its 2-liter 4-cylinder powertrain can virtually download anything in the range of 100 extra horsepower with just a downpipe, and can easily pump out upwards of 500 horsepower with big turbo kits and bolt-ons. Making power in a GTI is quite affordable as well compared to other performance vehicles, which in turn makes it very possible to do things like this. which many people have grown to hate. Similarly to BMW owners, many people think GTI drivers are extremely cocky, and this does have some truth behind it, as GTIs are the 7th most ticketed car on earth, making up almost 15% of fines annually. Now, while it is bad to be known for sounding like an automatic weapon on wheels, it's not as bad as being known as a crowd killer. Literally, most people, when they find out you're a muscle car fan, either assume you build classic Corvettes with your grandpa and watch NASCAR, or you're at takeovers, drifting around gas stations, or causing some other sort of mayhem in a big American V8. Ford Mustangs, which are high-powered and rear-wheel drive, are known for being wildly uncontrollable and have crashed badly multiple times. Dodge Hellcat owners often rank their car above almost any other car on the road due to the simple fact that it's a Hellcat. And Camaro and Corvette drivers are equally rowdy in their own ways. Our final pick, Tesla, has one of the most despised fan bases in all of the car community, and some believe that Teslas are not even real cars. While it is true that Elon Musk's electric car company Tesla has produced some of the quickest cars on the planet, it is important to take some of those numbers with a grain of salt. The Tesla Model S Plaid, which is the most performance-oriented vehicle currently in the American manufacturer's lineup, is capable of doing the 0 to 60 in an astonishing 2.3 seconds, which beats cars like the Lamborghini Huracan. While these numbers are impressive, a lot of car enthusiasts are just having trouble wrapping their heads around Teslas. The combination of the lack of noise from the car and its alien driving experience and lack of petrol motor cause many people to be unimpressed and count Teslas out. In summary, just because your car is faster doesn't make it more desirable. It seems to be the general consensus that true car guys would almost always pick something like a GT3 911 or a Ferrari over a Model S Plaid, even if they are technically slower. Thanks for watching. Do you agree with our picks? If we forgot to mention a certain group, we would love to hear about it down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more weekly automobile content just like this.